Black Mirror, Nosedive. Context of the world Nosedive. In the world of Nosedive, everybody has a social score which is shown to everyone else and affects how they are treated. The higher your score is, typically the better you are treated by others. With each conversation that everyone has, you get rated by others, with 5 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. Your rating often mirrors your social desirability, with higher ratings getting better treatment and having access to higher up events, and lower ratings getting treated terribly and almost being kicked out of society. Our main character, Lacey, is obsessed with acquiring her high score, as she believes it will lead to a better life and social scene. Description of scene. Lacey is at work when she is greeted by Jess from her office, who is offering her a smoothie. However, Lacey sees that Jess has a low score of 3.1 and hesitantly grabs the drink with slight disgust on her face. Everyone stares at her judgingly after grabbing the drink. With a fake smile, she drinks the smoothie and rates him 5 stars, and the man sighs with relief with an exasperated thank you. After the man walks away, an office worker next to her says that they aren't talking to Jess, and Lacey immediately inquires how he got a 3.1 rating. He explains that him and Gordon split up, and Lacey immediately feels sympathy for Jess. The office worker frowns at her and says that everyone is on Gordon's side, and Lacey changes her opinion to be on Gordon's side. The office worker then rates Jess a low rating when he has his back turned, trying to get him out of the office for good. Lacey also has repercussions, as she gets badly rated from the office with her interaction with Jess. What is conformity and social influence? Conformity is the act of matching attitudes, actions, and behaviors to match those of a group. Social influence is the process in which individuals change their thoughts, feelings, and attitudes in response to others. Psychological concepts in Nosedive. Conformity and social influence. When Lacey smiles at Jess giving her a drink, she feels compelled to fake smile and laugh, as she believes this will give her a better rating from him if she is polite and happy. It is social influence, as she is changing her behavior in the anticipation of Jess's response because of the external social pressure of the rating system. If she isn't polite and happy, she may not get a good score, as she is performing for the office, which is conformity. Conformity and social influence. When Lacey feels uncomfortable around the man, prominent her fake smile and laugh, just because he has a lower rating than deemed normal. The scene shows that Lacey has internalized the rating system, meaning the idea that associating with individuals with lower scores is deemed unacceptable. It also shows normative social influence, as Lacey is conforming to social expectations and looking to avoid social disapproval from the office by interacting with Jess. Conformity and social influence. When Lacey has sympathy for Jess but then sees that the rest of the office doesn't like him, she changes her behavior instantaneously to agree with him. In this scene, Lacey is complying with the group's opinion, even though she was holding a differing opinion at the beginning, feeling bad for Jess. It also shows a normative conformity, as she is agreeing with the group from the desire to be liked, so her score doesn't go down, even though she holds a different opinion. This could also link to group size, as the office has a large number of people. This could exert more pressure as conforming as a group to hate Jess. Conformity and social influence. When Lacey was rated a low score by the office workers for interacting with Jess, this shows the implications that interacting with a low score individual does and how it is unacceptable in the office. This displays the consequences of not conforming to the office's beliefs, leading to a punishment or negative social sanction for Lacey. This kind of punishment for not conforming then reinforces the pressure for Lacey to conform later in the show. Social influence. The overarching idea of the rating system in Nosedive is a powerful mechanism of social influence, as it makes every interaction subjected to people evaluating it, meaning it creates norms for individuals to follow and punishments if you don't. Because everybody's social score is shown above their head, it means that Lacey and other characters change their behavior to appear nicer and to not get a bad score. Critical thinking. The system in Nosedive is taking the extreme, with little social interactions having major impact on a person's social status. Nosedive exaggerates the impact of conformity and social influence for dramatic effect. However, the scene does accurately portray normative influence with Lacey's fake smile, her concern on how others will judge her, and her fake rating of Jess. Furthermore, the scene also conveys how quickly Lacey changes her views to align with the group's views, being an accurate representation of how conformity can look in a group setting. The unamity of the scene is almost perfect, making it very unrealistic and an oversimplification of real-life events. The fact that everyone agrees and that they hate Jess is unrealistic, as these group norms wouldn't be universal throughout the whole office. Do you think people in real life would act the same way? Nosedive is a dramatic version of the way in which human beings do behave in hierarchical social situations. Nosedive's real-time scoring is a metaphor for how we negotiate our social status and treat those who are higher or lower than us. Yes, I do believe that people in real life would have a similar reaction, even without the rating system, as we do conform in group situations. Personal reflection. I think if I were Lacey in the world of Nosedive, I wouldn't want to be so cool to Jess. However, the system in the show forces individuals to compete for each other's approval, leading for anyone to become someone they despise. I think ultimately I wouldn't conform and I would deal with the consequences from my coworkers and friends. I'd like to stay true to my moral values of being kind to others and not talking behind their back, because otherwise I would feel too guilty. I would hope that if I didn't conform to group views in the office, that other people would stand up and agree with me so the pressure to conform drops, like Ash's conformity experiment. I think it is good to stick to your authentic ideas of what is right, as I believe that is more valuable than succumbing to social pressure. Thank you.